In as much as we have enjoyed all the recent high-quality display launches, we all agree that staring at a screen can be murder on the eyes. After a while, even a gorgeous pixel-dense HD display can make you want to spray your eyeballs with the garden hose. That's the beauty of Amazon's Kindle Paperwhite. The e-ink display is a half step between paper and screen, giving you the convenience of an e-book ecosystem with less wear and tear on the old optic nerve than the iPad 4 or the Nexus 7. It manages to be a more pleasant reading experience than your average display, all while having a subtle backlight and jaw-dropping battery life. This new Kindle Paperwhite can go weeks without a charge. Then again, so could last year's model. The new Kindle Paperwhite is an incremental update. On the outside, the two models are almost identical. Internally, the hardware has been given an uptick, and the uneven backlight, which left dark spots on the bottom of the original model's display, is completely fixed. This has all been done without any markup in price on the Wi-Fi model. A Wi-Fi version of this new Kindle Paperwhite is just about $119, that is £109, for a model with special offers, that is ads on the lock screen, and $139 for the ad-free model. The 3G versions, however, have been bumped up $10 each, going for $189, that is £169, and $209 respectively. The Kindle Paperwhite is the best e-reader on the market, bar none. If you need or even want an e-reader, then this is the one to have. The question is, do you need or even want an e-reader? The Paperwhite admirably focused product, unlike jack of all trades tablets, which will leave you wanting for a keyboard. Should you attempt some actual productivity, the Paperwhite does one thing, and it does it very well. Reading a book on this device is simply a pleasure. Voracious readers willing to forego the artisanal qualities of a paper text will adore it. However, for the gadget head who already has a tablet, is it worth dropping more money and packing yet another device in your bag? Let's see. Starting with the design, your average tablet customer might feel cheated, since there is only 6 inches of screen real estate. I know that will be your reaction, but just believe me that it's actually a fantastic size for an e-reader. Even if your grip isn't terribly big, it's easy to hold in one hand for an extended period of time. At a glance, Amazon's new Kindle Paperwhite is not distinguishable from last year's model. It's built from the same soft touch plastic, comes only in black, and bears a Kindle logo below the screen. However, the new Paperwhite has an improved display with even more backlight and better contrasts. Also, if you're looking for a quick way to tell the model years apart, the new one has an Amazon logo on the back, while the old one says Kindle. The Paperwhite is still very light, weighing just 213 grams. You can hold the Paperwhite between your thumb and the forefinger with ease. It's even easier to hold in one hand than your average paperback book, since there are no pages or front cover to pin back as you read. Some might complain that the Paperwhite hasn't dropped any weight since last year's model, but it's something of a moot point in my eyes. If it got any lighter, it will be at risk of being swept away by any errant breeze. It's still small enough to toss in a bag on impulse, in hopes of finding some spare time to read. On the bottom, you'll find a charging port and the power stroke lock button. The Paperwhite charges through micro USB, and while you'll find a USB cable in the box, there is no AC adapter or wall plug in the box. Looking at the interface, Amazon's Kindle Paperwhite is built around getting you to your books and letting you buy more books quickly and easily. Since you order it through Amazon, it comes pre-registered to your Amazon account unless you designate that the purchase will be a gift. It's simpler interface than your average tablet, and if you're used to a Nexus 7 or an iPad, it will feel stripped down. That's appropriate though, and also necessary, given the benefits and limitations of the e-ink screen. Let's look at the home screen. On first boot, you read through a brief tutorial before landing on the home screen. This is divided into 2 feeds, a list of your books and documents, and then a promotional stream of titles recommended to you by Amazon, which can be disabled. The first feed can be sorted to show all your books and documents, or to show just books, periodicals, documents, and active content. By default, it will show you your most recently accessed titles and a little status bar below them to show your reading progress. You can give it a swipe to see the rest of your library. If you didn't pay extra for the version without special offers, you'll see an Amazon banner ad at the bottom of the screen, and ads also serve as your lock screen. Those lock screen ads are tasteful, and Amazon varies them enough that they can be a bit of an amusing surprise. You do end up with a few romance novels and goofy looking fantasy books on there though. The ads aren't intrusive, but they do make Paperwhite feel somewhat impersonal. It doesn't feel as yours as a decked out Android or iOS tablet. There's a real lack of customization compared to those devices, but the no-nonsense reading crowd likely won't be bothered by it. Also, those ads and offers can be removed at any time if you pay the $20 difference. It's nice of Amazon to give that option, and I therefore recommend that shoppers buy the cheaper with ads version and pay up later if they feel the need to. How about the reading? Diving into the reading experience on the Paperwhite, pages are turned by simply touching the right or left side. Touching the rightmost 2/3 of the screen advances. Tapping the remaining left portion of the screen goes back. Swiping left to right or right to left on any portion of the display also moves the pages back and forth. The swiping, combined with small size of the Paperwhite, makes one-handed operation quite comfortable. You can hold this thing in one hand and just swipe away. It's a very comfortable reading experience for the hand as well as the eyes. There is a small delay when you turn a page, a slightly smaller one than on last year's Paperwhite. This is thanks to an upgraded processor, but it's hardly noticeable unless you use two side by side. The whole screen still refreshes when you advance a page, like a brief snowstorm in an Etch-a-Sketch. That's the true nature of the e-ink display. It's odd the first few times you see it, but it quickly becomes white noise in the otherwise pleasant Paperwhite experience. The text size is generous and quite legible by default, but can readily be resized with a two-finger pinch. Obviously, bigger text means more frequent page turns, but it's well worth the ease of reading. If you have difficulties with your site and need enlarged print, this feature alone should put the Paperwhite on your must-buy list. Font size can also be tweaked in the toolbar, which is summoned with a touch at the top of the display. Here, you have quick access to the home screen, a back function, backlight adjustment, the Kindle store, and some settings options. Settings allows you to change the orientation of the page from portrait to landscape and vice versa. The Paperwhite does not reorient itself when turned, like most tablets do. In settings, you can also toggle on and off reader highlights, which shows passages that other customers have highlighted. It's a bit disorienting that they are shown by default, but it's easy to disable them. As with any tablet or e-reader, a dictionary definition is only ever a touch away. The Paperwhite also boasts Wikipedia search, and this covers any blind spots the dictionary may have very well. You can create your own bookmarks, notes, and highlights, and share them on Twitter and Facebook. However, there is no quick way to email a passage or notes, or label your bookmarks, which seems like a feature students would love to have. Note taking on the Paperwhite is a bit of a pain anyway. The on-screen keyboard is designed well enough, but there is a bit of delay when inputting text. This is the same e-ink related delay you experience when you are turning pages. It's far more noticeable when typing and keeps the predictive text lagging behind. Punching in more than a word or two is kind of a task. Of course, there has to be a comment about the display. It's the first to use e-ink's Pearl 2 display, and it's incredibly easy on the eyes. It's totally non-reflective, so you won't catch light or your own image in the display. Most importantly, it can be read easily in two places where laptop and tablet displays routinely wash out or strain the eye, that is, in direct sunlight or low light. In total darkness, a backlight keeps the paperwhite readable. If you ever flipped open an iPad in the dead of the night, only to have your retinas briefly seared before the brightness dialed down, know that this won't happen here. I won't say much about the experimental browser, because it's just a startup, something on the rise. However, talking of the battery life, when the original Paperwhite was first announced, its most trumpeted breakthrough was the incredible battery life. Amazon claimed it will go up to 8 weeks without a charge, and holds fast to this on the new model. Amazon is not fibbing when they claim this truly impressive battery life, but using Wi-Fi or dialing up the brightness will definitely take a bigger chunk out of your charge than that 8-week claim is estimating. Still, with services like Wi-Fi and 3G disabled, you'll be able to get close to that 2-month claim without charging. So, when Amazon made the 2012 Paperwhite, it built the best e-reader on the market. Now in 2013, it's gone and improved on an already standard smashing design, great ease of use, impressive battery life, and a well-rounded ecosystem that makes it the only pure e-reader worth owning. So, do you want an e-reader? A device that lets you read an e-book in any lighting condition? Then buy the Paperwhite. Don't get it if you're expecting even a fraction of the versatility of a true tablet, like the Nexus 7 or an iPad. This is a device for reading and reading only, and it does that very well. If you've liked it, go ahead and click on the link in the description for the best offers from Amazon itself.